What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another big game, James, and it is another episode of Best of Enemies. So I am late. This is all my fault. It's all right. I'm gonna get that out the way real quick. This is
Yeah,
my fault.
it's his
I'm
fault.
definitely late.
Oh,
But
it is his fault.
so I already see everybody bad. Like, it's 11, it's 10. What's going on? But we here, man. We here. We got some topics that we're gonna go over. I'm excited for that. We are probably going to be announcing something pretty soon about Best of Enemies and maybe a new home for it. But we'll get into that later on. But what's going on, James? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. My dog finally got his monkey taz up. You know what I'm saying? Handling his business all good. We're back. Best of Enemies. Hopefully, yes, like we said, we got some good news coming on about the Best of Enemies going hopefully to higher heights. But it's good to see everybody waiting. That's what we want. We see everybody getting in the building. See my guys coming in, Los, feel me, T Smooth TV, Rev. I feel my guys coming in like motherfucking Spartans.
This is Sparta. No, this is
Sparta.
gonna be fun,
Yeah.
man. This is gonna be a fun one. Look,
Landlord, what's up, baby?
the Eagles and the Cowboys are one more preseason game away from the actual regular season. We've gotten to see
Yeah.
a lot of things. So we are going to change up how we're doing this just a little bit. We are going to kind of have about 5 or 6 topics that we want to talk about. We're going to talk about those. Obviously, if you guys have any questions or topics you want us to go ahead and talk about, we can definitely do that. We're open to anything. But just to kind of give a little overview of how we deciding to do this, we are going to talk about Sam Howell. We're going to talk about Daniel Jones and Waller having a pretty decent, outing for their preseason game. We're going to talk about who we think is the most hated quarterback in the NFL. And we're going to talk about Shannon Sharpe. I don't know if you saw that. Shannon Sharpe possibly going to First Take. That's going to be an interesting one. And then we'll wrap it up with the Eagles and Cowboys grades for the preseason so far and just the offseason in general. And then if you guys want to, maybe call in once, depending on how much time we have, we'll do a call in or something, go through the super chats at the end. But I'm excited, man. So let's talk, because obviously with the preseason going on, a lot of new quarterbacks are being called. They're being called the number one guy. You see Sam Howell, you see a couple of other guys, but the only person I really care about right now, because he's in our division, is Sam Howell. So I want to ask you, do you think that it's too early? Obviously, it feels like Sam Howell is becoming the quarterback one because he beat you guys last year. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But do you think it's too early? How do you feel about Sam Howell, and how do you feel about Washington naming him their number one quarterback?
Basically you can get a name off us. And one more thing that you can get a name off them Dallas Cowboys. We didn't play a lot of our starters with. This was a game that we didn't need to win. And so you saw a lot of backup guys. Nashawn Wright, there was another guy on there. He's not even with the team anymore. Number 39 was getting cooked up a little bit. But Sam Howell had that game. I think it was like 11 of 18, 168 yards, a touchdown. He was talking a lot of trash that game too after the game. You were going against a lot of backups. So, you made the name. But when you see the lineup that they have at the quarterback position, they also, shout out to everybody, they have Jacoby Brissett. Now, Jacoby Brissett is a veteran out there, right? He's been a starter in the league. But I think, they drafted Howell in the 5th round. He was a darling quarterback a couple of years ago, getting ready to come out the draft. They were talking about him being in the top 10. They kind of changed up their system over there at North Carolina. He became a lot more of a rusher than a passer, and they think that's why he may have dropped out, out of that top 10 talk. But now he reminds me of a Baker Mayfield, in my opinion. Reminds me of that type of guy. But I don't think, it's bad for them to throw it out there. They want to see a young evaluation, right? They know they got Jacoby Brissett. He's been around the league. He started games. So I feel like we got a solid backup. Let's see what this young guy is. And this is Ron Rivera saying, hey, I got to, kind of throw my chips in. And if this guy ends up being good, I can take some credit for it, and I can end up keeping my job. If he doesn't end up being good and it fails really bad, this could be the end of the line for Rivera. So I don't think it's too early. We'll see. Sam Howell's got some good and bad about him. I don't think he's a franchise type guy, in my opinion, from what I see, but he's got a nice little bit of an arm. You see, like I said, he's got some moxie, and we'll just see how it goes with this season ahead of us.
I think give him a little bit of time. If I'm the coach, what you said honestly makes a lot of sense because Ron Rivera is kind of on his last thread, you know. But if I'm the coach, I'm making him sweat a little bit. I think after one game, you know, one preseason game, make him sweat a little bit. He did have a decent, you know, first preseason game. He went 9 of 12 with 77 yards and a touchdown. Brissett, on the other hand, didn't have the cleanest of games. Obviously, he threw an interception. So we'll see what happens there. Like you said, you have a guy in Jacoby Brissett that you can feel comfortable going into the games with, feeling like, you know, if all else fails, he's a guy that can go out there and play some football for you. Sam Howell, I liked him coming out of college. I won't say that I liked him enough to say he was a top guy. I was shocked that he went in the 5th round, if I'm being 100% honest. I did not see that happen. I don't know. I thought that he would definitely be in the 1st, 2nd round, but to see him drop that far was crazy. We'll see if they got themselves a steal. Somebody said they see Purdy and Howell, and both are going down this year.
No, I don't see no Brock Purdy at all. I think I'll give Brock Purdy more talent. Not say talent, but I would take a Brock Purdy over a Sam Howell, in my opinion. I like Brock Purdy's moxie a little bit better, you know. And you know, even though he was the 7th round pick, the last pick in the draft, that was Purdy. You know, we got to see what he's going to do year 2. Obviously, he's the guy right now. But you know, Sam Howell, we'll see. Like I said, I don't know if he's going to rock the boat like Purdy came in and did. That remains to be seen. But the good thing about Washington, they got a pretty decent team around him as far as his receiving core. I mean, he's got Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, who came in last year. They still got Gibson. You know, the defense, good defense around him. They still got that very good defensive front. So he has things around him that can help him so he doesn't have to be the guy. So, you know, we'll see how it goes going forward.
Do you think that there's a good enough team around him that if he's just good enough, like if he's just, you know what I'm saying, if he's an average quarterback, how far would that take Washington in your opinion?
I don't think it's going to take him that far, in my opinion. I don't, you know, I think the team has to be astronomically good for them to do anything. Like I said, I don't believe in the Sam Howell project. Like he's going to come in all of a sudden, be the guy, and then you're going to be seeing him for the next 10 years under center with the Washington Commanders. So I feel like if he's playing like average ball, they're definitely not going to be a team. We already talked about them being a squad that did we even give them eight wins? I mean, did we give them over 500 this year? No. I don't think we both did. Shout out to Rev Rebel for the $2 holler. I don't think we even did. So like you said, you played the game off the Cowboys with backups. Let's see you play the Cowboys with our Fire D these 2 games and see what you're really about, because I have my doubts about you.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. I will say this, if that offense can get going with Sam Howell, it'll be interesting to see what happens next year. I don't think this year is going to be a year that they can really make any moves, but if Sam Howell's at least decent and he can kind of get better as time goes, it'll be interesting. I think that he can maybe be something down the road. I want to see what we did give Washington because I have the actual... I want to see what we put as our schedule prediction for them because I know we only gave them like 5 or 6 wins each.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that defense is going to help them. I think the offense isn't terrible, but Sam Howell, we got to see what he's going to do. We haven't seen him. One game didn't count. So we can't jump out there and say all got all kind of tape, and that may be in his favor. That you don't have a lot of tape on him because he could surprise a few people. But once they get that good tape on you, we'll see what it is going forward. I'm surprised he dropped to the 5th round, but there may be a reason why too. So good situation because you don't have to be the guy. But you're in a tougher division in the NFC East. We're going to talk about those Giants. We already know what you have in the Cowboys and the Eagles. So it's not like you're coming in feeling like you're going to come in and win the division.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it though because I do like Terry. I do like some of the guys they got. So you gave them 6 wins. I gave them 5 wins. Mm-hmm. So yeah, neither of us had much faith in that. Yeah. this is gonna be fun. When I saw that he's gonna be the QB1, I was like, I gotta bring it up because I want to see what he thinks. But I don't think either of us are really surprised nor scared, right? Like I think we both kind of knew he was probably gonna take that job, but I don't think that it really puts any fear in anybody's heart. So
I'm ready to get up at Sam Howell because, like I said, you know, he did a lot of talking after that game. Washington is one of my teams I do not like at all, but there hasn't been a rivalry with us because we steady been smacking them. You feel me? Definitely when it counts, we've been busting their heads. So it ain't really been, you know, that rivalry I've been wanting. But maybe he may have rekindled it, talking that trash up after the game, talking about, oh, we knew we was going to do this and we was going to do that. Okay, let's see. That was a game that we didn't need or anything like that. So let's see it this year, Sam Howell, when you got that fire coming at you with Micah Parsons for real. You got those other guys coming at you, Damone Clark, all those guys. We'll see what you're talking about then, Sam Howell.
Let me ask you a question because you bring up Micah Parsons, and I brought this up in somebody because, you know, I like to troll people.
Yeah, you
do. But I brought this up in somebody else's live, and they were talking about Micah Parsons. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm dying. Do you think Micah Parsons being on that defensive line full time, will that hurt your defense as a whole at all? Like I know
he's not going to be on that line full time, dog. They're going to be moving him around. We have waves of players now. You feel me? We have waves of players. He's going to. They'll probably have him as the lineup starting like that. But we got wave of guys. You know, we got we got not just DeMarcus Lawrence. We got Dorrance Armstrong Jr. I know people say 8.5 sacks. Oh, that could have been fluky. I don't think it was fluky in my opinion. Dante Fowler had 5 sacks, I believe, in a very limited duty. Sam Williams, you saw him in a very limited duty as a rookie. Those guys are going to get a lot of reps on the defensive end position. So it's not just going to be Micah rushing the passer or being a full-time defensive end. They're going to move him around. Whenever you see matchups, that's why Quinn has got this back of what we say guys that you can come in waves, because it allows Micah Parsons to be able to not be in one spot where you can get a beat on him. I just don't believe Dan Quinn's going to have him rushing D in every single play where you can just get the beat on him. He's too damn good for that. So I don't see that. So people who think that, just get that out your head because he's not playing full-time defensive end.
All right, that makes more sense because I felt like you can't kitty corner somebody that's that good.
No, he's not doing
so
many
different things.
No way.
So that makes sense. That makes sense. Now I do want to move on to another quarterback in our division that, you know, is probably getting a little bit too much love right now. That's gonna be Daniel Jones, man. Daniel Jones and Waller. They had a little bit of a connection,
right?
But I mean, what do you look? Daniel Jones went 8 of 9, 69 yards, a touchdown. Waller had half of his yards, damn near 3 catches for 30 yards. A lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of Giants fans, a lot of, you know, I've seen a couple of media people, but it's hard to really take them serious half the time, saying that this could be a really deadly duo. Are you at all worried about this duo? Because I'll say right now, I don't think that Daniel Jones is that good of a quarterback. I think that a lot of his deficiencies were masked by good coaching last year, and having a guy like Waller definitely helps because they have no real number one wide receiver even. So this is definitely going to be their number one guy, but I don't think that it puts them over anything. Like, I don't think that, you know how like the Eagles got AJ Brown and that kind of put us over the hump. I don't think that this really does anything for them. I think he's a decent player, and if he can stay healthy, awesome, but I just don't see it. I don't see them being as good as a lot of people are acting like they're going to be.
Man, listen, I don't hate on you, Daniel Jones, but dog, nobody fears you. I mean, that's just what it is. Nobody fears you like nobody fears Sam Howell. Like, if you win games, okay, cool. But nobody fears Daniel Jones, even if you got that bread, even if you got that money. Darren Waller, we saw what he did over there with the Raiders. Very good tight end, but he does have a little bit of injuries. He gets hurt a little bit, so you have to monitor that. But this doesn't put them over the hump, in my opinion, either. They're still trying to figure out their way with the receiving core. They just drafted Jalen Hyatt. He got the big touchdown.
He's doing good.
Yeah, he got the big touchdown. He's going to have that elite speed. He's going to be able to stretch the defense. So we see that. But, yeah, Darren Waller, He might have, I don't know if he's going to have career numbers, but he's going to have big numbers because obviously Daniel Jones is not throwing 8 yards per pass attempt. You feel me?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is throwing around the 6 or 7 or below, around that range of pass attempt. So what does that mean? He's going to work the middle. He's going to throw underneath. And who's going to be underneath there? Your tight end, right? So that's where Darren Waller is going to really work and eat. But this doesn't make Dallas Cowboys scared? No, he might get some numbers, but that doesn't mean you're going to win games with him. And it definitely doesn't put them over the hump as far as them saying, oh, well, they're going to take over the NFC East now because they just added Darren Waller. No, you can have Saquon Barkley, and it don't really matter, because you still got to figure out what you guys are doing on the offensive line. You got to see if Neal can step up from last year. We saw Thomas do it a few years ago. So Neal got kind of beat up as a rookie last season. So we got to see what that offensive line is looking like. But at the end of the day, I just don't believe him, Daniel Jones. I haven't since he's come out of college, and I don't feel like he's done anything in his career to really dispel that he is going to be the guy to take the Giants to the next level.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. Like I said, I think Darren Waller is a good player. I think that it helps, especially because you didn't have really anything. And Jalen Hyatt, shout out to Jalen Hyatt. I was at a restaurant yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was for my birthday, actually. I was at a restaurant in Clearwater, and the owner of it comes up to me like, oh, yeah, my nephew plays for the Giants. And it was Jalen Hyatt. So shout out to Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah, shout out.
He had a good game. I think that he's a good player. Even watching him come out of the draft, I think that me and you talked about him and what he could be in this league. So shout out to them. They got a good guy in that. But I just don't see it. Daniel Jones, like you said, he's not a guy that's going to stretch the field. He's not a guy that's really going to pick apart a defense. You need a solid running game. And obviously you have one with Saquon Barkley, but I don't know. You have Saquon on a year contract. He probably feels very disrespected. I don't know if he's really going out there trying to win games. I think he's just trying to go out there, maybe get a bunch of yards, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I really don't think that Daniel Jones has enough yet. And it's partially due to him not necessarily having the talent, but I also don't think that the people around him are really going to mask what he's missing, So Rev Rebel said the same way Joe was saying Cooper Rush wasn't going to do nothing against the Eagles is the same way I feel about Daniel Jones as being a threat in this division. Ain't nobody scared of him, bro. Yeah, I never said that Cooper Rush was good, but he wasn't, so he didn't do it. Yeah, it is what it is. Clowney to the Ravens, that was a big pickup.
I mean, nobody cares about Clowney to the Ravens. I mean, Clowney's been, we thought he was going to be the guy when he came out of college. Obviously, he had that knee surgery, that fracture knee surgery that kind of messed up and derailed his career a little bit. He lost the explosiveness. But, I mean, it's to the point now when we're talking about Jadeveon Clowney that, so what? I mean, what has he done? He doesn't go anywhere and get 5 or 6 or 7 sacks. He's just a name now. And I don't think, maybe he might have a resurgence because the Ravens might be able to use him in spot duty and he get those big sacks in spot duty. But I don't think that changes anything for the Ravens because Clowney went over there.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, Clowney is good. Don't get me wrong. He's productive. You know what I'm saying? He definitely is productive. But this is the first time that I feel like he got a contract that was worth what he is. A nice little $6 million contract, nothing crazy. Yeah. I think this was
just
fair.
A guy now.
Exactly. I think this was a fair contract for what he's been able to do. Like I said, he definitely produces. It's not like he goes out there and does nothing at all, but it's nothing crazy. Like you say, yeah, like KJ said, it's nothing to cry home about. It's not like it changes the whole, scenery of that. But either way, if Darren Waller can stay healthy, I'll say this much. If Waller can stay healthy, it definitely gives the Giants something they haven't had before, right? Evan Ingram just didn't work for them. So it'll be interesting, but I just don't think that he puts them over the edge. Do you think adding a Darren Waller, obviously we did our record predictions prior to or after he got traded, so we already knew that, but do you think watching that one game, kind of going through the offseason, do you change your mind on maybe how you had the Giants pegged as far as their record goes?
No, not at all. They're going to be third place like they were last year. I don't feel like Washington's going to overtake them. It's going to be the same order, except Dallas is going to win the division and you're not. So it's going to be flipped this year. Dallas is going to win the division. You guys will be second place. The Giants will be third, and Washington will be fourth. So the Giants aren't going to move the meter because right now it's Dallas and the Eagles. That is what it's going to be for. Maybe we'll see for the next few years. We'll just see how this year pans out. But definitely talent-wise, it's going to be those two teams. Washington is coming up in talent. They got a good defense. We talked about that. I think Chase Young is finally playing. I think we saw him in the game. I mean, they got, just like you got the Georgia boys, they got the Alabama boys on the front line, and Payne, Allen, and Mathis. So those are three Alabama boys right there. So they have the front. Jamin Davis, St. Josette, I think my guy Derek Forrest Jr. They got some pieces on defense, but they're still lacking. And then even when you talk about the New York Giants, yeah, they got some guys as far as some talent in Barkley. Jones, he's okay, and Waller. Their defense, obviously, they got Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, your boy Kayvon Thibodeau. If I said that correctly, he's pretty nice. But they got some young guys on the outside. They just drafted my guy who was on the, who's my corner that I liked a lot, that I wish we would have had drafted out of there, man. They got Xavier McKinney. They drafted him, and what's his name, dog? Help me remember.
Giants?
Deontay Banks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
You know what I'm saying? I liked him. So that they drafted some talent, you feel me? But they're still not there, dog, and they're not overtaking us. So nobody's fearing Daniel Jones getting a Darren Waller, overtaking Dallas and the Eagles.
They might overtake Dallas. No,
they ain't overtaking us, dog. We own them, bro. Don't do that. They overtake y'all. Didn't they beat y'all?
They beat us once, yeah.
Okay,
finally.
They beat you though, right?
They finally, yeah. We beat them like 4 or 5 years in a row.
Did they beat us?
Did they? I don't know.
No, they didn't. Thank you.
They beat y'all. Both Washington beat y'all. I would be more embarrassed by why we lost to Washington.
At the end of the year, and it was over. Will you just use your excuse like when we played you guys a couple of years ago? We played our backups. It didn't count. So, how's it different now?
I mean,
exactly.
I think if anybody, no, I can't even say that. I was gonna sit here and hate and be like, if anybody, the Giants could be the team that overtake, but no, I can't.
No, they're not overtaking no damn.
Yeah,
you're crazy. Nobody. You're dumb. When's the last time the Giants have beat us? Exactly. Thank you. It's been like 100 years. Giants ain't even beat us. So why are we don't even think about saying anything crazy? If anything, worry about y'all because they beat y'all last year.
Oh no, they didn't. The Giants didn't beat us. Washington.
Oh, they didn't beat y'all.
Washington beat us. I knew I was messing up.
Oh, and Washington beat y'all not at the end of the year like us. Washington beat y'all when it counted. Remember I forgot they whipped y'all ass.
They ain't whip our ass. They
ran through y'all.
It was a bad game. It was definitely a bad game.
It wasn't just no bad game. They whipped
a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
We came out and won the next game. We came out and won like the next 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. It happens like that.
They ain't beat us after that, though.
It happens like that. We beat you before that, though.
I
wish y'all would have saw us in the playoffs. If y'all would have been able to see us in the playoffs,
too. I mean, y'all got that great draw. We'll talk about it again. The greatest draw ever in the history of draws in the NFC. If you ever
won, y'all draw wasn't easy. If y'all had 50-year-old Tom Brady,
if y'all ever wanted, but Tom Brady is legit. Tom Brady over Daniel Jones and Josh Johnson. Answer that.
I mean, hey, Tom Brady's old as hell. I would take Daniel Jones.
You just said Daniel. Man, oh my.
Daniel Jones last year.
Lying.
Daniel Jones last year
over Tom Brady.
Daniel Jones was very accurate last year. He didn't throw his interception to touchdown ratio was very good. He was efficient last year.
You just said he ain't getting him over the hump. You took him over Brady. No, you wouldn't. Darren Waller. I'm sorry, not Darren Waller. Daniel Jones and Josh Johnson. That's all I got to say.
A 45-year-old Tom Brady. That's what I'm saying. Like, a 30-year-old Tom Brady.
I still would have took a 45-year-old Tom Brady over Daniel Jones last year. Yep.
Hey, y'all beat him though. Y'all beat Tom Brady and then y'all lost to Purdy. So at the end of the day, we knocked Purdy out the game. So
yeah, got lucky.
Hey, luck.
You gotta have some luck.
What do they say? Luck is just preparation and opportunity meeting each other. So we got lucky.
That's what they say. I'm gonna you got lucky as hell. They ain't gonna be so lucky this year though.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 100 people in the chat. I do apologize
Booming.
again for being late. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we
I know
probably
it's
have
my
more in the
fault.
chat if it wasn't
We would. We
sleeping.
definitely
But
would.
that's all right. I'm gonna let you slide. I've done it plenty of times. I can't even say nothing about oversleeping.
Yeah, no, you've done it before. But today, honestly, yesterday I got out of work dumb late. And then this morning I woke up. I woke up on time. I woke up at like 9:30, like when I messaged you back.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, bro. I was like, hey, if we could do it later, I'm cool with later. I am knocked the hell out. But now I do want to get onto this because I wanted to talk about this last like 2 weeks ago, honestly.
Yeah.
But we never got to it. So I want to talk about this.
Who
do you think is the most hated quarterback in the NFL?
It's not close.
I know you. I had a feeling you would say Dak Prescott, but I don't think it is.
Who do you think?
I would say either Mahomes or Jalen. I think Jalen is becoming one of the most hated.
Oh my God! Nobody.
I think he is becoming one of the most hated.
Bro, nobody is hating on no Jalen Hurts.
Yes, there is. Y'all hate on him every day.
I don't hate on no Jalen Hurts. I said he's a good quarterback. He's not great. He didn't have great numbers. He had a great team around him. I told you that. I said he's a good quarterback. We need to see it again because when he didn't have the A.J. Brown, you were over there even saying, I don't know about Jalen Hurts. He wasn't doing great. You even said yourself before the A.J. Brown trade, I don't know about Jalen Hurts. He wasn't a world beater the year prior to that. He wasn't knocking down the door. Nobody was sitting there saying he was franchise guy. You feel me? Now all of a sudden that you got all that talent, now people saying he's the world's greatest thing. I don't hear all the hate for him. I hear the hate for Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? It's still continue hate. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, he can't do that. He's still not getting over there. He been in the league 7 years. He been in the league 7 years.
Those are all true, though. That's all true.
But look, like I said, just because you've been in the league in a short time, a period of time, and then you happen to go to the Super Bowl with a stacked squad.
Y'all had stacked squads too. That's my thing, though.
Like that,
y'all never had no stacked squad. Y'all never had two receivers over 1,000.
2021 is when I say we had a very good team, and yes, I'll agree with that. We dropped the ball in that 2021. We had a very nice squad. Yes, we had Amari Cooper. Yes, that was a dope squad. We should have won.
And a lot of people keep on talking about, oh, you had a cake schedule. The difference between the hardest schedule and the easiest schedule last year was literally like a 0.05 difference. I'm so tired of hearing about the easy schedule. You had such an easy schedule. Bro, you play who's in front of you. The Cowboys have had very, very nice schedules.
We haven't. We haven't had no nice schedules. They throw us, bro. They'll throw us in They'll throw us 3 games in 10 days all the damn time. They just scheduled the Buffalo Bills in the wintertime, which we knew they were going to do.
We had bad games too this year.
What are you talking about? I mean, don't let me pull up the schedule because the last 4 games of the season, they're all like damn playoff teams. It's brutal, dog. They always love to hit the Cowboys. I don't want to hear nothing about the Eagles getting these hardy schedules. They do it to Dallas every single time, and you know it. So I don't want to hear it.
The Eagles play literally, and
pull up like that Cowboys schedule too. Pull up that
I will.
Schedule too. Okay.
Look at this: Kansas City, Buffalo, San Fran, Dallas, Seattle, all with it, and Dallas right before the bye week. Like that's not easy, bro. That's not easy. I'll put yours up right now.
Yeah. Pull us up.
Nothing. That's easy. That's light work.
What you talking about? Light work. You got Seattle. You got y'all. You got Buffalo, Miami, Detroit. What? That's 4 teams
Buffalo,
right
Miami. There. That's about it. That's about the only. And San Fran because y'all can never beat them.
And don't count y'all either too. You right.
Hey, no, we gonna whoop y'all tail. That's why I don't even.
We're gonna smack y'all. You feel me?
This year is gonna be.
But why'd you count Seattle though? Why'd you count Seattle?
Did I count Seattle?
Yeah, you did.
Seattle's good. All right, I'll give you that. Seattle, Eagles, Buffalo, that's tough, but not really. I mean, by the time you get there, you might not even need all those games. That's the thing. Like, you look at the middle of our heart of our schedule.
Are the Lions good? At the end of the season, what? That's when it's really going down.
But look, that's the heart of our schedule right there. That's the heart of our schedule. 9 through 14.
What's the heart of ours? Ours at the same time, at the end of the same time as yours. What are you talking about? And Detroit, you definitely can't sleep on them. You got Seattle, Philly, y'all, Buffalo, Miami, who's a playoff team. Yes, they were. Don't sleep on Miami. We're doing that right now. And Detroit, seriously. And then we still got to play Washington at the end of the year. And you already know how that could be. So don't even talk about like we got a weak schedule.
I got a pretty easy schedule. Y'all got about the same schedule as us. And last year it wasn't that much off either. I didn't feel like y'all had that much of a tougher schedule. So I just never understood that whole y'all had an easy schedule. Y'all had such an easy schedule. We play who we play.
Yeah, y'all played and y'all played it easy. Y'all got a good draw. Only props I can give is because y'all won the division, so y'all got the easier schedule. You in the playoffs. You played Daniel Jones, who you just said ain't doing nothing. We ain't worried about no Daniel Jones. But now all of a sudden he's doing something. And you knew when you played him in the playoffs, y'all weren't fearing him. Nobody was fearing him. And then
I wouldn't have feared Tom Brady either.
You would have feared Tom Brady more than Daniel Jones.
Nah, I wouldn't have. Not at that point. They were trash.
Okay.
They were trash last year.
All right, dog.
They were trash last year.
Okay.
Okay. Bro, they were trash last year. I wasn't worried about them at all.
Yep.
But to me, if I'm not picking the Eagles, if I'm not picking one of my players, I would say it
ain't no Jalen Hurts. He was third in the freaking top 100. How does that happen? How are you hated on?
He's still hated though. Not just. I'm not joking about fans. I'm talking about daily. Like Jalen Hurts is talked about on the daily. Y'all talk about.
Nobody talks about Jalen Hurts, dog. Who's talking about Jalen Hurts now?
Everybody talks about Jalen Hurts, especially Cowboys fans. I'm not going to say you. I'm not saying you.
Who else?
You know that there's a cult of people that just like to talk junk about Jalen Hurts.
No, there's not a cult because why? Why is there a cult about Jalen Hurts? I mean, okay, went to the Super Bowl. I can't sit around and talk around about no Jalen Hurts. We said what he said. The world's greatest bread, thanks in sliced bread. He had a good season. He didn't have no great season, 22 touchdowns. You just seen James Jones dissect your boy Shady McCoy on there talking about Justin Fields is more elite than Jalen Hurts, which is true. If you're talking about line for line, athletic ability, and things of that nature. Now, if you want to call that hate, no, that's his realism. But y'all don't want to hear that realism. But when we tell y'all stuff about Dak, no, it ain't. But when you hear Jalen Hurts, that can't be. Yeah, it is. So it's the same way. But nobody's sitting there when you talk about Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts, who's hated on more. Dak is in the news every day on every broadcast.
That's because he got to do something. But that's not hate to me. Sitting there saying that somebody that gotten paid multiple times has to finally go out there.
He got paid one time. He didn't get paid multiple times. Know what you're talking about, dog? He got paid one time. He got
like 4 franchise tags. That's like $50 million.
He got one franchise tag, bro. One franchise.
Then he get back-to-back franchise tag.
No, he got one franchise. Then they signed him. You know what I'm saying?
So, I thought he got franchise twice.
And as I said before, he had freaking Jason Garrett 4 years, dog. I don't care what anybody tells me. You had him as a coach. You had Kellen Moore and those guys as your offensive people. For real,
man. I like how. See people in here, and I can't say it's just you. I can't really say it's you. Like I said, it's not really you that be saying it, but it is the truth that people talk about Jalen Hurts all the time, talking about how he's a running back, he's this, he's that, and then they'd be like, "Oh, nobody cares about y'all." There's literal people on Twitter right now that have their whole account talking about
y'all. Or the networks
talking about the Jalen Hurts.
The networks talk about y'all every day.
I don't really watch that. I don't really watch.
Okay, but you do. You know it. You know it. They don't. They don't talk about Jalen Hurts every single day. And when they do talk about Jalen Hurts, all they do is give him the praise. You hear about Dak on every network all the time. That's how you are the most hated. If you're on not just Twitter. Not just even on here. What's the first thing people are saying in here? Oh, he sucks, overrated. That's hate. That's the first thing you hear when you hear. So they ain't saying that about Jalen Hurts like that. Anytime we first start talking about the Cowboys, y'all talk about Dak Prescott, overrated, hate. That's hate. And then when you go to every network, it's about Dak Prescott. Hate. Every time, everywhere, dog. Magazines. My guy's the most hated. It ain't no damn Pat Mahomes because Pat Mahomes got Super Bowls. You can say Aaron Rodgers is hated on just because you don't like Aaron Rodgers. You feel me? Not because he don't have time. You just don't like him. So that's why you can say he's hated. But Dak is even hated just for everything about him, dog, even in his own fan base. So I don't want to hear that.
I feel like some of y'all need to just stop watching TV then, because if y'all don't like what they saying,
I don't need to see. I haven't watched one of them networks in over 5 years. Like sat down and watched one, and that's a fact. But guess what? We have Twitter. We have social media. When you have Twitter, it's going to show every time you click one thing. If you click it one time, it's going to show you multiple things of it all the time. That's how the internet works. So you know that, Joe. So you don't got to watch these networks to see these quick highlights and say, oh, man, this is why you don't watch them, right?
Hey, I think that is Mahomes. If I wasn't picking, I
Nah,
think it's
please. And
Mahomes.
shout out to my dog landlord for the $5 holler too. Get my
You think
dog
that people see that's what is hated then? What is your definition of most hated then? Like people just don't want to see him succeed, or people are tired of seeing him play? Like
that's I would say that all of that is in there, but people are tired of seeing. Is it not hate when people are saying, man, stop talking about Dak. He ain't did nothing. He can't throw. He still can't win nothing. But all you see is him winning. All his winning percentage as a Cowboy is one of the best in Cowboys history.
yeah, but not in the playoffs.
Okay,
That's
but he has
point.
okay. You keep what y'all talking about, but in the playoffs, he's played in the playoffs 6 times. You act like if you watch those playoff games. The first playoff game against the Green Bay Packers. Y'all keep saying this. I'm going to just shut you down right quick. The first game against the Green Bay Packers, right? Was that Dak's fault? Did you really watch the game? We were down 28-3. Dak Prescott brought us back as a rookie in that game. It wasn't anybody else. It was Dak Prescott that brought us back in that game. When we played the Seattle Seahawks, Dak Prescott took them down at the end of the game to win that game. When Dallas Cowboys played the Rams, it wasn't Dak Prescott that didn't play defense that got 230 yards gashed on that defense. He had like an over 100 rating, I think, in that Rams game. But we're saying Dak Prescott, he can't win in the playoffs. The team wasn't doing it in the playoffs. It wasn't Dak Prescott's fault when you had a dumb call. They didn't call that hold on David Irvin, but Aaron Rodgers throws that pass on the defense. That's Dak Prescott's fault. And then even in that first Niners game, I ain't going to lay it all on Dak. You got to look at the whole damn team. The whole damn team sucked that game. The coaching staff sucked that game. The whole team sucked that game. The game where we'll say is it was more on Dak was last year. But you still lost a lot of your players. Let's see if Jalen Hurts lost what's your guy, A.J. Brown, for an extended period of time, or lost him in the playoff game. Let's see if one of your two guys go down in the game. Let's see if he can elevate. We haven't seen that because your major guys haven't been hurt. None of your major guys been hurt in the game. And even when he didn't have those guys, what did he do? Y'all got your butts kicked against that same guy you was talking trash about a year earlier.
True. That's not true. We didn't get our butts whooped because we lost them. We didn't have that. We didn't have Jalen. We literally didn't have our quarterback.
Against the Bucs in the playoffs?
Oh, against the Bucs. We sucked that year. We weren't that good. We were not that good, but we still made the playoffs.
But that was a year before, though,
but
right?
y'all give me excuses.
How am I giving excuses? You just
because you're saying, oh, this person did that, that person did this. Is not on Dak.
He was 43 then.
And hey, all right, you're right. Yeah, we did not win that game. We did not win that game. But the reason that we were even in the playoffs is because of Jalen Hurts. That's the only reason we were even in the playoffs, realistically. Our team was not that good. Defensively, offensively, it was not that good. So I'll give you that. But at the same point, I don't understand how there can be so many excuses for Dak Prescott not winning when he needs to in the playoffs. I get it. Things happen around it. But when you talk about the Eagles, all you say is 8-3. We don't dissect every game, and we don't talk about how Jalen Hurts only played one of those games. We don't talk about whose fault that was. We just say 8-3. And in most of those games, I'm pretty sure Zeke went off in those games. So, like, it might not even just be on Dak.
You can't sit there and say that. Look at Dak's numbers against y'all. Yes, I can say that. You get there and say, I'm sure Zeke went off. Yes, Zeke had good games. But look at Dak's number. Do I need to pull him up? He has great numbers against you guys. Passing numbers, touchdown numbers, completion percent numbers. He's everything that Dak is playing. It's not like Dak is playing terrible against the Philadelphia Eagles. He just threw 40 points on y'all last season to beat y'all. What are you talking about against your vaunted defense? Yes,
yeah, against our injured defense.
Oh, see,
that's what I'm saying. But when I tell you what happens,
so when you have an excuse, because this sounds like an excuse for me.
No, that's the truth. We were hurt. We had a couple of injuries. Like
your quarterbacks,
and we didn't have our quarterback.
Quarterbacks weren't hurt. We had Noah Brown, bro.
So what does that have to do with anything? So the day that when you guys lost to when your backup lost to Jalen Hurts, you guys were making all these excuses about how you had a backup in.
I said that you guys played it close to the vest with Jalen Hurts. Your Avant quarterback only had 155 yards passing, I think. 125 to 155 passes. Your Avant quarterback. I said he was erratic in that game, throwing it out of bounds because that pass rush was on him. So y'all took it close to the vest and started running that ball because I felt like y'all wasn't trusting Jalen Hurts because he wasn't playing the greatest. We didn't even have our quarterback. Y'all weren't throwing it everywhere. But when y'all had Gordon Minshew, y'all was chucking that ball like everywhere, dog. He threw for like almost 400 yards. Y'all was chucking it everywhere. Now all of a sudden, well, that's sad. What? Yeah,
that's our backup.
Right, that's a backup. But what did our main starter do to your defense like he always does? Dissect.
That wasn't our main defense. We had injuries.
Was your main defense.
How can you? How can you
on your team? That wasn't like the. So you're saying the guy who you got at 1 year had 1 year, half a year. You don't have him now. He was your guy.
Who?
C.J. Johnson, whatever.
C.J. Johnson. He was hurt. I'm pretty sure Reed Blankenship was hurt that game. Avonte Maddox was hurt that game.
Who? Avonte Maddox played the first couple of quarters and then got hurt.
All right. Well, he got hurt in that game. We needed him.
You got a lot of excuses, Joe.
No, what gets me confused is that you guys can make all these excuses for Dak Prescott, but as soon as I say, but we had an injury, it's an excuse, and that doesn't matter.
I didn't make an excuse. I broke down facts.
Yeah, you literally said that this person did that, so we lost. This person did that, so we lost. It wasn't on.
If your defense, if your run defense got gas for 230 yards, you think you're going to probably win that game, Joe?
All right, well then I can say the same thing, right? I can say the same thing. That is not on Jalen Hurts when he loses. It's not on Jalen. It's on other people. Just like the Super Bowl.
Did I say that? But
did
he have a big fumble? That was on Jalen Hurts. Did it alter the game? Yes, it did.
Okay, did Dak Prescott have multiple interceptions in the playoffs? That affected them.
I just admitted to you when they played the Niners that he did, and that affected the game. So what are you talking about?
What about the Packers? What was his number against the Packers? Did he have an interception against them?
He had 2 interceptions in the game.
And that probably hurt him. But you brought up the 28-3. You feel me? That's what I'm saying.
We lost that game. Yes, that we should have won that game. You're right. I was pissed off. We shouldn't have lost that game. But it wasn't just Dak Prescott in that game. It was terrible play calling towards the end of the game. You yourself said play calling does matter. That's why you're happy Gannon's gone. See, you're double talking, dog, and I'm catching you.
Shout out to everybody in this chat that's catching me. We got 170 people in here.
Joe.
We're gonna move on to the next one because I knew this was gonna be a heated one. I should have saved this one for the last one.
You should, because I just ate you alive on it.
You ain't eat me alive.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a lot of Cowboys fans love to do that. They love to walk around the truth about what Dak Prescott is.
No, I didn't walk around no truth. I said Dak Prescott is a damn good quarterback. I didn't sit there and say no, Pat Mahomes are not like that, but he's damn sure a top 10 quarterback. He damn sure can win games. He's proven it time and time again. He's won division. He's won games. The playoff record has been uneven, but I broke down to you where if you're going to sit there and say Dak Prescott played bad in all the postseason games, you're a liar. It hasn't, and it hasn't been. Dak Prescott has been the reason why you lost those games in the playoffs. I just said the last playoff game, you can say Dak Prescott played uneven in that game, and you can lay it more on him, and I just agreed with that. But when you go to the other playoff games, you can't say that about Dak, so it ain't no damn excuse.
But you said that the Green Bay game he played bad too. That's 2 games now.
The Green Bay what game? In the regular season, he had 2.
No, you said the game in the playoffs. The playoff.
No, he did not play bad in that game. I said he played great in that game because he's the one that brought us back when we were down 28-3.
And he didn't have any interceptions in that game?
No. I think he had the one earlier. He had a 1 interception because it was a stupid play call where the damn Packers. No, the Packers damn near. I mean, watch the game, dog. These are facts. The Packers pointed to the play. We all saw they were about to throw it. The Packers pointed to the play and he jumped the route. Why did you let him do it? He was a rookie. Could you let him change it? They probably wouldn't let him audible out that play. The Packers sat there and watched the play, dog.
I just can't wait for this year, man. I really can't wait for this.
But I've been cooking you. I'm just letting you know you can't do that, dog. And like you said, Dak's numbers against y'all, they ain't bummy numbers. They're very good numbers.
Yeah, but he doesn't do anything in the playoffs. That's the thing, though.
You keep going to the playoffs. See,
because that's what people are hating on him about. And that's what I'm trying to explain.
About you, though. Yeah.
That's fine. That's what I'm hating on him about, too, is that he doesn't win.
The most hated. Thank you.
He's not the most hated. I hate Aaron Rodgers more than I hate him. Because I can't stand his face.
You ain't the only person that we talking about. He's hated in his own fan base, dog.
Yeah.
He's the most hated in his own fan base. So you can't tell me who's not the most hated.
So your people don't even like him? Some of your Cowboys fans hate him?
Cut it out. You know that.
Damn, bro. We respect our guy. We got our
No,
guys.
you don't respect Jalen Hurts. Y'all
We love
only
Jalen
respect him
Hurts.
because everything is going good. We know how the Eagles fans are quick to turn on people.
I won't lie. You're right. You're right. If stuff goes sideways this year,
Let y'all not make the playoffs this year and Jalen Hurts don't have that same year.
yeah,
Y'all
people
be
gonna definitely get mad.
y'all turn on him quick as hell.
All right, we gonna switch up the topic. This is another one I wanted to talk about because who knows? One day, who knows? Maybe me and you start beefing. You know what I'm saying? And you go to like a rival podcast or something because that's basically what's happening right now. Shannon Sharpe he agreed to join the First Take. He hasn't made a contract yet. Stephen A. basically clarified that. I think this is possibly one of the funniest things that could happen. Look, I like Shannon Sharpe. I can't really stand Stephen A. or Skip, to be 100% honest, but I like Shannon. I think he's funny. I think this is real petty. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I think this is kind of petty, but what are your thoughts? Are you excited to possibly? I know me and you don't really watch it that much, but we do catch clips and we do see the, here and there. Right. Are you excited for this? Do you think this is petty? Do you think this is good for his career? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm gonna just say this. I always want to see, I always want to see black men elevate in this business. So that's always good for me to see from my standpoint in that. It could be petty, but I don't really care. You know what I mean? As far as these networks, I don't watch it, so I can't sit there and say it means something to me, or do I have actually even think about it? Because I don't watch these networks. I don't listen to what they say. They just do sensationalism. I'm not saying that they don't actually do journalism, but they do sensationalism for these networks, and it's almost like they don't talk like that on air, off of air. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, it's just for the show. You'll never get it behind the closed doors, and they're really going to say that. I just don't believe it. So, it could be a good little combo. Shannon Sharpe really blew up with Skip Bayless because when he was with CBS Sports, he was, average. But I think he's kind of good when he's with his own little Shay thing. I think that kind of metamorphosized. I think he's really good doing that. So, I don't really care for Stephen A. Smith. He just be saying goofy stuff, and I don't understand it. So it's whatever with me. I don't really care. If we being totally honest, good for him. Good for them, but I don't care.
I respect that. I do think that what you said is true, man. I would have loved to see him kind of just run with his own thing, man. Like, why not, bro? He's a smart guy. He knows football. He's very entertaining. I think that it would be fun to watch him just kind of do his own thing, bro. Like you said, man, the Club Shay. Keep it going, bro.
Keep that going and keep your own niche. Like, you don't got to go with Stephen A. Smith and do this and do that. But if that's what you want to do for your career and get money, I mean, who am I to say to stay? No, don't do that. But I just feel like, you're really cutting out your own niche with that Shay. And a lot of people will come on there. You get a lot of big guests. A lot of people mess with you. Your name is ringing in the street. So you get money. But sometimes people want more. So, hey, more power to you.
Yeah, somebody say he's a Hurts hater. It's Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe did say that he puts Justin Fields above all the NFC quarterbacks, which I think is kind of crazy. I mean, I think
talent wise, Justin Fields does. Justin Fields. I'm gonna keep it real. I've seen him at Ohio State. The only thing I said about Justin Fields, about him with his play, was that the Ohio State Buckeyes did not do their quarterbacks favors as far as playing a pro-style offense. Yeah. And I wasn't seeing that with Justin Fields. So I worried about him coming into the NFL and be able to throw the ball accurately, hit those guys that you want, make those big time throws that you want, because the athletic ability was there. You saw that at Ohio State. And you've seen 1,100 yards rushing. Come on, dog. And you've seen he is ridiculous. And it's true. His talent athletically and all the way around is better than Jalen Hurts. It's no hate. Just like when people would get mad, like, Dak Prescott and let's talk about Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, I don't feel like is a winner like Dak. But if we're talking about talent-wise, yes, talent-wise, when you watch Justin Herbert and then Dak, talent-wise, he is better than Dak Prescott. It ain't no hate. but we're talking about winning games. He's got to win games in the playoffs. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. We've seen talented quarterbacks come in this NFL. Jeff George, we've seen a ton of talented quarterbacks come in this NFL and not win anything. Aaron Rodgers, he's got supreme talent, but he's been in the league 18 years and only got one chip. So get what I'm saying?
I will say, and I know Eagles fans are going to hate me for saying this, when Justin Fields came out, I was so down for the Eagles to go ahead and draft him. I thought that he was. I still do. I know that he's very good. It's just he has terrible coaching.
What
he's in a
I didn't mean
situation.
to cut you off. Eagles had Lennon said Justin Fields has accuracy issues. What?
Bro, people don't like him. Eagles
and
fans
you can't claim superior arm talent if you have those. What? You don't even make no damn sense. Then that's going to say Josh Allen. Then Josh Allen has superior arm talent, but he was terrible in his completion percentage. So now all of a sudden, because he can't complete passes, he doesn't have not the accurate ball. He doesn't have supreme arm talent. I'm sorry, you just made no sense.
He has gotten better, though. I will give Josh Allen that much. He has gotten better as the years gone. But I love Justin.
Get them
Fields,
likes up
I
too,
would
man.
love to have him.
Got 105 in the chat, dog, and we got what 45 likes. Get them likes up, dog. Y'all know y'all liking this. I ain't even cut you off, Joe. Y'all know y'all liking this. Let's go.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in here, man.
You feel me?
We getting it popping. I'm enjoying this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got 150 odd total, so that's what's up.
Let's go.
All right, so the last one we gonna do is gonna be the NFC East, man.
Let's get it.
This is gonna be the Eagles and the Cowboys. So, do you want to start? Do you want me to start? How you want to
start it? Go ahead and start it. I like how you started because I always like to finish it.
So obviously the Eagles. Look, I'll start with the bad news. The Eagles had a couple of injuries. I won't say key injuries. I won't say major injuries, but some special teamers, some definite guys that are going to, have roles got injured. Sean Bradley is out for the season. Zach McPherson is out for the season. Moro Ojamo and Tyree Cleveland, who might not even made the team. But Moro Ojamo is a guy that I thought was going to make the team. They both had concussions and neck sprains. So there's some, and then, Nolan Smith was taken out of the game early last game against the Browns. He did say that he could have finished the game if he had to. He feels fine. So there were some injuries. I wanted to start there because those are, never good, never a thing that you want. But the Eagles looking good, man. The Eagles looking good.
So I know you're geeked up about this defense. I know you're doing backflips over this defense right now. We seen Brunson over there. He kissing the sky over Jalen Carter. He kissing the sky
as he should. Jalen Carter's a beast.
But when we get throwing out these generational talent things, calm down over there, King Wasabi. Calm down over there, King Wasabi. Now I would sit there and tell you, Jalen Carter looks like the real deal. I'll be sitting there lying. To sit there and say and I'm gonna sit there and say this is gonna be a battle. That front with Jordan Davis, you got those Georgia boys. That front with Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox is moving out of his twilight of his career. You got Jordan Davis coming in. I think Jalen Carter is going to be the truth. And then you saw Nolan Smith was getting after the quarterback. Hassan Reddick. Y'all got players. Nakobe Dean need to step up over there. But we also saw your guys in the secondary was Eli Ricks. I think he had a pretty good game. So you guys have talent. Nobody's saying that. So as far as me giving the evaluation for seeing you guys from the preseason, yeah, we know you guys got talent, but talent don't always win all those games. So we got to see if you can do it back-to-back seasons.
And I will say that Nakobe Dean, while it wasn't major flashes and it obviously wasn't a full game of flashes, he did his thing yesterday. He did his thing. I'm happy with the maturation. We haven't been able to see a lot of Dean, and I'll be the first to tell you he has something he has to really prove to us. He has to show us he could be that guy. But I think it was a lack of evidence, not necessarily like a lack of talent. Like I don't think that he's trash. I just think we haven't been able to see him do anything. So, and Eli Ricks did not get cooked. He got cooked once. that was literally one bad play. Eli Ricks has been really good, actually, in my opinion. Kaylee Ringo, that's another conversation. He's been disappointing as hell. But overall,
But Kelly Ringo, y'all was doing all the athletic videos and all the foot videos and all the
He
foot
just can't see
movement.
anything. That's the
No,
thing.
we said that. That's one of the reasons he was dropping interceptions. We said that when he
Yeah.
was in college. That was the knock on him in college. So those warts are already showing. So y'all was a little hyped over him, and he might not even be a guy over there. I think what it is that you played with them boys in Georgia, and it made you feel really good. And a lot of people kind of maybe overrated you. And just because you're an athlete and you can do all these athletic things doesn't mean it translates to the football field. And it looks like that's what we're seeing from him.
I'll say two things before I give my grade. With Kaylee Ringo, and you know this, I think that you can, attest to this. I was telling everybody to get off of Kaylee Ringo's, tip for a while because I was telling there were so many good cornerbacks in this draft. But once we drafted him, it was like, all right, no, he's great. Yeah, that's it. But he's still very young. That's the one thing I will say. He's like only 20, 21 years old, I think, when the season starts. So he's still very young. He has a lot of time to mature and get better. So overall,
you're never gonna get it.
He's gonna be.
You're never gonna get it.
If he needs to switch to safety, that's what needs to happen. He needs to move to safety.
You never. Yeah, Drew. Yeah, you're right, Drew. Ringo need to do that because you're never gonna get it.
He'll be all right. He's gonna be better than any of your players. I bet you that.
There you go. Tell him, Benjamin. Stiff hips, boy. That was the thing that they was talking about him coming out of college, and it's showing again in the pros. If you don't got hips, bro. If you don't have hips in the NFL, and you're playing the safety or cornerback position, you're gonna get cooked. I don't care if you're especially if you're a straight line guy. We had a guy. Oh my God, J.J. Wilcox. That was a straight line guy. Couldn't turn to save his life. You feel me? But he could hit you straight on. But if you went zigzag on him, like it was he was a snake and you were running from a snake, that's how you get away from zigzagging. You feel me? Don't run straight; they'll catch you. Dog, it's gonna show. Kelly Ringo is not it, bro.
I like Ringo, but yeah, it's going to take time. He's definitely not it right now. I 100% agree with that. But overall, my grade for the Eagles this offseason, this training camp, this preseason, I'm going to say a solid B. I think that, outside of the injuries and, all that, I think that we were able to kind of find out about our team. We know what we want, what we need. So, yeah, I'll give it a solid B. Nothing crazy, nothing bad, nothing too great.
I would say I can agree with your play. Y'all lost yesterday, though, right?
We tied, so basically a loss.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say if I'm your best of enemies opponent guy, we'll sit there and say y'all had another good draft. You have a shrewd GM over there. I don't hate on that. You got a good GM over there. What he did with the draft, taking that chance on Jalen Carr, I think it's going to pay off for you guys in that long run. I think he's going to be a top player for you guys for a long time to come. Nolan Smith, we'll see what Nakobe Dean will still have, but you guys have a foundation just for your guys going out. As far as Darius Slay, you maybe have a guy in Ricks. You have a foundation. So we'll continue to see. So I'll go ahead and give you a B as well if you're looking at it from my perspective.
I like it. Now the Cowgirls, what would you give?
We was cool. You still saying that, bro?
Nah, I've been nice, dog. I've been nice.
Don't say Cowgirls though, because that'll show you elementary.
I'm too nice to you, bro. Everybody says I'm way too nice.
No, you're real. Y'all Eagles fans are he's real. Okay, that's why this thing works. See, I gave y'all real evaluations. I don't hate on y'all. I don't say, oh, he sucks. Jalen Carr, he's terrible. No, he's not. So that would just be a hater, right? So that's why this thing works over here. So he don't be too nice. He be too real. So don't get mad at him about being too real. It hurts him, but he got to be real about it. But don't say Cowgirls, dog, because that's elementary, and that's for people who I don't feel like they know anything about football. So stay away from that word right there. Okay?
I can't say anything too negative. I mean, if I really wanted to nitpick, I would, bring up your quarterback throwing like 5 interceptions, but do you really care about interceptions in the pre? No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
because we seen him in 2021 not practice the whole damn time, come in throwing 400 something against the Bucks when they were good and dropping bombs like Hiroshima. So just cut it. Nobody's caring about that. He's going to come in and do his damn thing. Game 1. Let's go.
But what about The whole fighting, real talk, and I'm
Yeah,
asking seriously because
I'm
I
definitely
think
jump on
a
that.
lot of people be like, oh well, back in high school when I was playing ball, we used to knock each other out. Like I never did that. I never been okay with that. Like nobody's ever called me out my name, and I thought that was competitive. Like that's not how I live. So maybe that's how it is in other places, and I'm not trying to like talk junk about anybody. Maybe that is how they get riled up and everything as they start cussing each other out and fighting. But does it worry you at all that they're fighting as much as they are? Because it does seem like it's not an everyday occurrence, but I've seen a couple videos of a couple different players on the Cowboys fighting. Does that worry you at all?
Hell no, dog. First of all, let me tell you something. Don't act like Eagles people don't fight. Yeah, that's crazy in my head. Like, oh, players don't fight. Dog, every football team fights, dude. Like, that's normal. That happens in every time they have inter-squad game. It's coming. A fight is coming. It happens in practice. Tempers flare. What I didn't like, and Dak Prescott, who came in and backed it up, because I said on there, Micah, you the leader. I don't care if they got foam on them helmets. You can't punch nobody. Now, I understand you backing up your guy on Sam Williams because Tyler Biadasz, who I felt you did a little too much by airlifting Sam Williams. He could have got hurt on that play. That don't make sense. If you're coming to help your guy, because how it was starting, it was just a little bit back and forth. You can jump up in there and say, hey, come on, dog, and a little pushing back there. But you don't airlift a guy because that dude can get hurt. That's too much in my opinion. Mike McCarthy addressed the team like, hey, I understand it. We're gonna have this, but let's reel this in. We got to be smart. You're the leader of the team, Michael Parsons. Like Dak took him to the side. He said he broke his thumb. This season is critical. We can't have little things like that you're causing to mess up the season, because that could have been a broken hand. You're out 5 weeks. That hurts the team, right? So you just got to be smarter than that. But sit there and people act like people don't fight and practice. That happens all the time. But when you come into your leaders and they're throwing blows, you got to be better than that, because that could help hurt your season or derail some things in the season. So I don't think it's out of the ordinary, but I think our coach addressed it. Our leader, Dak Prescott, addressed it. I feel like you move on. It's nothing big.
Yeah, shout out to Trey Fargo because I was gonna let him live, but we're almost done
I'm
anyway. So
a real Joe.
let
Stop
me.
hating.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. He's been
Not Drew,
talking all this
not
whole
you, Joe.
time.
Drew.
This is, huh? Yeah, I mean,
Drew.
you could talk. You always go at Drew. Let me get my.
I mean, your Eagles fans be talking hella trash. You gonna sit there and talk about my Cowboys fans talking trash?
Yeah, no, I'm just
Your
talking about
Eagles
this
fans.
one. I'm
Oh,
talking
you
about
got
this
one.
one.
You got one the whole time.
Yeah, now Drew be going in, but I mean,
Okay.
you already know. I'll let you get yours off at Trey. I'll be going at it all the time. But no, Trey, and this is what I'm talking about though. This and some other people were saying it too, saying like, "Oh, if you didn't fight, you didn't play football. You must have you soft." Like, bruh, just because you got beat up and bullied in high school doesn't mean that that's like normal. Like, I never understood that. If you got beat up, if you was bullied, just say that. And I'm sorry for what you went through, but that's not normal. I'm sorry, but I get it. I definitely get it. I mean, we can't. We're nitpicking right now, right? That's really all we could do because we haven't gotten to the games yet.
You even hear my boo thing saying they way worse, Joe. Cut it out. They are. Yo, Eagles fans don't have no filter. I don't feel like my Cowboys fans be coming at y'all like yo Eagles.
Nah, it ain't too bad.
Yeah, they don't. We
It ain't
don't do
too
that.
bad.
We got respect for you because we listen to you. Even if I give y'all props, y'all still be hating. So y'all just a bunch of haters over there.
Some of them do. Some of them give you the props though.
Yeah, some of them do, but most of y'all just be haters over there. It's just in y'all's blood. It's just in y'all's blood.
I did say Jalen could be the next Michael Jordan.
Drew ain't spitting no facts, dog. Drew just be talking out the side of his neck. No
Drew be mad. I got love for Drew, but he definitely
he's just a mad Eagle fan, just like your. Now, if you want to talk about most hated, your coach can jump in there as most hated because he get on everybody's nerves.
hate him.
Yeah, because he gets on everybody's nerves.
So, what grade would you give the Cowboys off season so far?
I'm gonna give it a B plus. I'm gonna give it a definitely B plus because, like I said, I thought we had a great off season. I felt like they went out and got things that we needed, things that were talked about in the 2022 season. They went out and addressed those needs on the defensive side, secondary, defensive side, offensive side, and the receiving core. We got some sneaky guys like you were talking about with your guy. I think who you said you got a sneaky, y'all got a couple sneaky players that said people are keeping eyes on. I think we do too. We got this get John Stevens tight end dog who is looking ridiculous, bro. Y'all better watch out for him because he looking nice. And then we got Mozzie, who, like I said, people are hating on him. Oh, let's get off of this and that. Mozzie was doing his job. Watch the damn tape. Wasn't nobody pushing Mozzie off the ball. They was double teaming him with their starters. Remember, Jacksonville was playing their starters against them. They wasn't moving them. They wasn't running the ball up the middle on us. Mozzie is okay. I like our drafts. I like our draft picks. I like our defense. We played against the Jacksonville Jaguars first team. Our starters were our second teamers. Feel me? DeMarvion Overshown. Woo wee! That boy, man, he getting tick. Wait till he gets some tick. But dog, we got a lot of things coming at you. That defense is gonna be fire. We weren't even playing our starters. Offensive line, we didn't even play them, and we still play better. I like how we played better as the game came on. That Deuce Vaughn, woo, Deuce,
he looked good.
Deuce Vaughn,
I'm
telling you, dog, boy. Okay, and our Jalen Tolbert last year, our receiving core is gonna be better than a lot of people talk. That tight end core. Tony Pollard going to go crazy this year in the rushing and receiving game. Offensive line, now you got Tyler Smith. If we got guys that continue to get acclimated, I like our guy now, Mike Solari, who's our new offensive line coach. I like him. And, I love the way Dan Quinn is doing it. We got waves of guys, man. We got so many guys that I just love it. So I'm going to definitely give us a B+. We played tonight against Seattle. 10 o'clock tonight, so we'll see more of what some guys that we've been wanting to get more looks of, but I feel good about it, and I like what we did off season, and I like what we're even doing in the preseason. I like our team.
I'm changing mine then. I'm going. I'm doing an A-. Nah, I think we both survived, right? That's all you really want to do for these preseasons and training camps. You want to just be able to survive, get out of it, and get ready for the season. So next week we'll be talking about the season. Next week we'll be.
And hold on. You know how many people that don't like football when they talking about Mozzie said that? You know how many people that play in the NFL that don't like football?
No, that's facts. It is.
You know how many people that are in the NFL that do not like football? They do it just for the money or the glory, or they do it because they don't want to work a regular job and they got talent. So I'm going to just play football. I've seen it in the youth football, little league. Kids don't even want to play, but they're so damn good. The parents make them play, or they just play just to do it. So what are you even talking about on that statement?
Shout out to Lonely Beast that Mozzie Smith is the poor man's Jordan Davis. I can see that. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, dog. Mozzie, wait, bro. I keep on talking. Keep on coming with that Mozzie talk. Keep on talking about that Mozzie talk. You feel me?
Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait. But either way, so the news that we wanted to say, it's not. Should I wait till it's like official and know when we're gonna do it, or should I just say it now?
Well, just you can throw a little teaser out there.
All right, yeah. So we will be most likely moving Best of Enemies. You'll still be able to hear it here. We just won't have the video here. And then if you want, you'll be able to join the show. You'll be able to kind of interact with us. We're talking and in the midst of making the move over to an app. Keep an eye out for both of our channels, both of our social medias, and we'll have more information out. But let's just say, I think for the games especially, this is going to be the best thing that we've done, and I'm excited for it because it's going to be so interactive, a lot of fun. So
y'all going to love it.
Yeah, so just stick with us. I promise next week I won't be late. I'll wake up on time and we'll keep this going, man. But I appreciate everybody. We still got 170 people in the chat, man. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe wherever you are. You got anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we get out of here?
No, just I'm excited about the future of our Best of Enemies podcast, our show. I really love this show. I loved it from day one when Joe brought it to me and said, let's go and let's roll with this. I think this can be something. And I as soon as Joe said it to me, I said, let's do it. This is going to be awesome. And that's what it's been. And even the haters of the Eagles, haters of the Cowboys, as far as back and forth, I love how the support of you guys, and I feel like please continue to support this, man, because this is going to be good, y'all. Y'all be able to listen to this, KJ. You'll be able to listen to your car. Yeah. You'll be able to listen to, this not just going to be visual. I mean, visual. This is going to be audio. We're going to get this on a whole bunch of different other platforms. please continue to support this. I feel like this can go to higher heights. So whenever you see us, man, jump in the chat, smash that like button. We want this to go at even higher heights. We've had a vision with the Best of Enemies podcast. It's slowly going to where we like and where we want, but it can only get great or even become greater because of you guys. So
Facts.
we need your support. So that's my kind of last thing. Continue to support this Best of Enemies podcast because you guys are going to love it. You guys are going to be interactive as far as the season, especially when we're playing the game against each other. It's going to be like no other, man. This thing is going to be fire. So continue to keep your ears to what's going on and continue to support this Best of Enemies podcast because I think this is the best Cowboys Philly podcast out there right now, just in my opinion.
Easily. And to answer Beirut, yes, you still will be able to hear us on. So kind of like today. That's why I wanted to kind of test it out. So today, mainly just audio is all you're going to really have. We'll have some graphics. And then on the other platform, I'll say that you'll be able to actually join in. You can call in and then say whatever you want to say. It's just way more streamlined. So like I said, just keep an eye out for more information coming out probably very soon. But yeah, other than that, man, I do appreciate everybody. Again, we still got 170 people plus in here. And I think James hit it on the head, man. You guys make this amazing. So I know we like to talk our talk. But yeah, this is dope, man, because it's hard to go somewhere and have conversations and not be fully disrespectful.
Right.
And every time that we finish this show, I'm just happy and grateful that you guys don't take it there. You guys understand, what we're trying to do here. So either way, next week we'll see y'all. But yeah, y'all know what it is, man. I am Joe. That is James. And we are the Best Enemies.
Peace.